Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都很难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, and joining me today, Georgia Massett from Online. Hello, Georgia. Great to have you.
大家好, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Especially recently, we are on the subject of traveling around, and I believe you have been traveling to different places.
Yes, I actually have. I was in Paris last week, and I'm in the south of France. I'm always moving around Europe, and I will be in Venice in a couple of months. I enjoy traveling around Europe so much, and I can't wait to come to China finally.
I know, you should definitely come to China. There are a lot of renowned places to visit, but also some hidden gems that you can discover, because that's the thing about the world. Of course, for the really famous tourist destinations, they're, worth visiting. Of course, we say 大众.
大众.
大 means big or majority, and 众 is people. So the places that the majority would celebrate, would praise, are definitely worth visiting. But sometimes my feeling is that if you go to some lesser known places, some 小众旅游目的地, so 小 is small or minor, and 众 means people. So it's like lesser known or are only praised by a small number of people, or not the majority would know these places. I mean, of course, you can argue that the development of these places might not be that mature in terms of travel destinations. They do not have a lot of souvenirs to sell you. They do not have a lot of tour guides you can choose from. But these places can be quite therapeutic. They can be a really great surprise that you might not have a huge expectation towards these places, but totally you might enjoy it even much more than those well-known ones.
I completely agree with you. In my travel experiences, I've always tried to mix Dazhong cities with the Xiaozhong ones. So trying to have also I think that getting to know lesser known places, lesser known cities gets you a much more clearer image of the whole country, because, well, let's say the capital city or the biggest cities don't have the proper image of the country because there are many tourists. And I think that seeing a small and more niche, it takes the stress away from you of being always in a crowded space. And so I think that also the experience you get away with, it's more unique, and you can have something. You can also discover new places that one day will be popular, and you will be the first one to do it. So I think it's really important to see also small cities, and not only, if you have the time, of course, and not only the big ones.
Oh, totally. Actually, on the Chinese internet, people would look for the 小众城市, the relatively lesser known cities, and they would say 宝藏城市. So 宝藏 is a treasure. So it's saying literally hidden gems, the places that are full of surprises, full of great experiences, and yet not found or not discovered. So that is going to be actually the theme of today's Takeaway Chinese. If you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 哎呦，去上海的机票已经被订完了，我们的旅行计划要泡汤了。
别着急，不如我们去一个稍微小众的城市。
可是上海有很多我想去的热门景点。
每一个城市都有自己的特色， 说不定我们能在别的城市获得更深度的体验。
哎呦，去上海的机票已经被订完了，我们的旅行计划要泡汤了。
别着急，不如我们去一个稍微小众的城市。
可是上海有很多我想去的热门景点。
每一个城市都有自己的特色，说不定我们能在别的城市获得更深度的体验。
I totally see myself as the friend trying to convince the other of.
I was wondering, are you the kind of friend who would feel a little bit, regret not being able to go to the major cities? Or are you going to be the one who's convincing your friend that a smaller city might be better?
I think the second one, actually. I always try to have new ideas. So I think I would see myself as the second one.
Oh, that's lovely. I would totally want to do these things with you. I like the positive vibe and the, go with the flow kind of attitude. Sometimes in life, you just have to do it, especially if you're planning a trip. I mean, well, I do have friends who would plan everything meticulously. They have to hit certain places at exact certain time. I mean, that's great. I would totally play along. But sometimes you want the relatively carefree and, go with the flow kind of travel as well. I guess this is the travel. Yeah, that these two friends would be enjoy. Okay, so let's take a look at the sentence. For the first one, 哎呦，去上海的机票已经被订完了。
Oh no, I'm so sorry. The flight tickets to Shanghai have already been booked.
Perfect. Have you ever encountered 哎呦?
Yes, but I've never actually used it in an active way.
You know what? Me either. This is a funny thing because sometimes, I don't know, for these kind of words, they definitely exist in the Chinese language. And when you're writing and you want to express the idea of this person is not really very positively, happily surprised, you would definitely use 哎呦 to start a sentence. But in real life, I hardly hear anyone use it because it's just not your intuitive reaction to things. 哎呀 is relatively more common to see. I don't know why, but 哎呦 is really not that common. But still, I think it's nice to know the word and know that you can use it when you're, writing a Chinese play or something.
Yes, I think I've mostly seen it written, and aya in dramas that I watch, I hear it a lot, so I totally understand.
Yeah. 去上海
to go to Shanghai
的机票
the ticket.
Yes. So 去上海的机票 altogether is basically the subject here. It's like a ticket to Shanghai. It's just in Chinese, we would put the subjectives in the beginning or let's say in front of the noun. So all the things that are modifying the noun would go before the noun. That's about the Chinese language. So 去上海的机票, you can also say 来北京的火车票, the ticket you're going to use to go to Beijing, something like that. And 已经
already.
Already. Can you use 已经 in a sentence?
我已经到了.
我已经到了. I'm already here. Perfect. 被
is it to express a passive action or something that has already been done?
Perfect. So that's how you...
In this case, someone has already bought the ticket.
Exactly. So sometimes we would say 水果被吃完了.
The fruit has already been eaten.
Exactly. So 被 is the signature word telling you the sentence is actually passive. 订
订 to book.
To book, to order. Yes. Can you say order a hotel? Order a room in a hotel.
订酒店,我已经订酒店.
我已经订好酒店了. I've already booked a hotel. 完
to finish, to complete the action.
How about I finished my homework?
我完我的作业.
我写完我的作业了.
Oh, yes, I finished writing.
Yes. First of all, when you use 完, you're always going to need a verb in the sentence. So, for example, 吃完饭了. I finished eating.
finish eating.
Or 写完作业了, I finished writing my homework. And here, 票被订完了, 订 is the verb, so you kind of need the verb. And then you finish doing something. So the doing part should be suggested in the Chinese sentence. And most occasion, I think we need a 了 at the end of the sentence. It's just like how you do it. So 写完作业了, 吃完饭了, the 了 is also very important. And then 我们的旅行计划要泡汤了.
Our travel plans have been messed up now.
Yes, 我们的
Our
旅行计划.
travel plan.
So 旅行 we know is travel around and 计划 is a plan. And here, because this plan is kind of like saying the plan of going out instead of the 攻略 we talked about. The 攻略 is more like how to do it, the way of doing it. So here, I do not recommend you to use 旅行攻略 in this sentence. Because again, I think 攻略 is relatively more stressed on the fact that each and every step, how to do it. And 计划 here actually stresses more the fact that we're planning to go outside. So it's like that kind of travel plan.
Okay, it was actually my question because I got really attached to 攻略. So it was my question.
Yes. And hopefully I've answered your question.
Completely.
Great. And 要
have been, to have.
Or about to. This 要, we know it can be translated as want to. It also carries the meaning that something is going to happen regardless of whether or not you like it. Most occasion, you don't like it. For example, we say 天要下雨了. 天要下雨了.
There's rain, so it's raining.
It's going to rain, so it's about to rain. Whether or not you like it does not really affect that it's going to rain.
Okay, so it's behind your control.
Yes. So 要 and 泡汤.
To be messed up, to be ruined.
To be ruined. And actually, 泡 carries the meaning of soak, and 汤 is soup. So 泡汤 is like soaked in soup. Imagine a piece of paper soaked in soup. Imagine your phone dropped into a lovely hot pot broth. That's basically a sad situation because both are ruined. So that's the reason why 泡汤 means something is ruined.
This is the pessimistic friend.
Yes. 我们的计划要泡汤了. Our travel plans are messed up. And then part B said, 别着急.
Oh, don't be stressed. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't be stressed. Exactly. So 别 means not to. Please don't. And what about another way of saying don't?
不
or 不要 in this case.
不要.
You can definitely say 不着急. You can also say 不要着急. So don't worry. Don't think about it so much. Don't be stressed. 不如我们去一个稍微小众的城市.
What if we go to a little bit less known city?
Great. 不如.
Why don't we? How about?
That is a perfect explanation of 不如, and you can use it in different scenarios. Basically, you're giving a suggestion and you're saying, how about this alternative compared to the previous one or compared to other ones? So if you're suggesting you change location or change the place you are about to eat, you can say, 不如我们去这家吧. How about we go to this one instead of the previous one? You don't have to say instead of the previous one anymore because 不如 carries that meaning already.
Okay, what if we... Okay, this is very interesting.
Yes. 我们
we
去
go
一个
one.
Yeah, that's the thing about 个 because 个 is the most common measure word and it can be used in so many different scenarios, which means sometimes in English it's hard to find the exact translation. So 个 is the quantity word. And in Chinese, we're big with quantity words. We need quantity words for basically every noun. So 一个 稍微
a little bit, slightly,
a little bit. How can you use 稍微 in the sentence? I'll try a little bit of this in terms of, I'll taste a little bit of this.
我稍微试一下.
Yes, 我稍微试一下. I'll try it a little bit. Yeah, I'll have a little bit of it. That's the thing. You use 稍微 in front of the verb.
Okay, so I have to put it in front of the verb.
我稍微长一点儿. 我稍微等一会儿. So I'll wait a little bit. See, you put it in front of the verb. And the thing about 稍微 is that when Chinese people use it, sometimes They are just being polite or being super polite or being, let's say, humble. For example, if you are late and you're telling your friends, oh, have you been waiting for so long? Maybe they have been waiting for half an hour or an hour, but they will be polite and saying, 没有啦，就稍微等了一会儿. No, I've just been waiting for a little bit. And when you're talking to different people about different things, you can throw in 稍微 in front of the verb to be, a little bit more polite, trying to make the other party feel a bit better, something like that.
I will be using it.
I'm glad. And that's 稍微小众.
So a niche, how we said, a lesser known city.
Yes, so 小, we already talked about it being little or minor, and 众 is people, so less people. So 小众 means it's not the mainstream one, it's not the major ones. 小众. 城市.
A city.
City, so 小众城市, a lesser known city. 可是上海有很多我想去的热门景点.
But Shanghai had so many popular attractions that I wanted to visit.
可是
But
is there another way of saying but in Chinese?
I only use 可是 actually.
Have you ever used 但是?
但是 also.
Yeah, 但是 as well.
We're reading it. It comes 可是 more naturally. I don't know why.
Yes. Well, I think 可是, I don't know why either, but I feel like 可是 is relatively softer. 但是 is relatively more direct. But I think it depends on different people. If I hear 但是, it's totally fine as well. So 但是 is another way of saying but. 上海, that's Shanghai, of course. 有很多.
There are many.
There are many. 有 in itself is half, but here it means there are. 我
I
想去.
I thought of going. I wanted to go.
Like to go, want to go. 热门景点. 热门.
Popular.
Popular. Okay, so can you guess what 冷门 means?
Not very popular.
Yes, actually it means that. It also carries the meaning of niche.
冷门.
冷门, yes. 景点.
Places, popular attractions, or attractions in general.
Yes, so 景 is scenic, and 点 is a spot. So literally scenic spot. 景点. 每一个城市都有自己的特色，说不定我们能在别的城市获得更深度的体验。
Every city, it's unique in its own. Perhaps we can have a more in-depth experience in another city.
Great. 每一个.
Everyone.
Can I say 每个?
Yes.
Yes. E is totally omittable. 城市.
City.
City. 都.
Every. It goes with may, so every.
Actually, I feel like sometimes I would translate 都 to both or all. So both of them or all of them. For example, 每个孩子都很可爱. Every kid is really cute, but it's kind of like saying they all are cute. Or 我们都饿了. Both of us are hungry. 都. So see, it's both or all. You're definitely right when you say you can pair up the 每 and 都 to mean every. Because here, 每一个城市都有自己的特色 basically means every city has its own charm, and you can also use it in, for example, 每个菜都好吃.
Every dish in its own, it's delicious.
Yes. Or you can say 每个人我都认识.
I know every person.
I know every person.
I know everyone.
Yes, see, you know how to do it. Okay, so how about the boss goes on business trips every month?
老板每个月都去出差.
出差, perfect. See, 每个月都出差. So every month, the boss goes on a business trip. That's how you use the 每都 kind of structure. I think it's also quite useful in our daily conversation. Yes. So here, 每个城市都有 all have 自己 their own 特色.
Peculiarity, charm, uniqueness.
A certain character that others do not acquire. 说不定.
Why not? Perhaps.
Perhaps. I think why not is, of course, you can understand it as that, but not every why not can be translated as 说不定.
Okay. So maybe.
So 说不定, yes, perhaps, and maybe would be even better. For example, I can say 说不定我明天就不来了. Perhaps I won't be here tomorrow. I won't come here tomorrow. It's like I cannot say for sure because 说 is to say, 定 is for sure. 说不定 is I cannot say for sure. So perhaps. 我们
In this case, why not doesn't work.
Yes, in this case, why not doesn't work. But in other case, for example, 说不定我们可以去他家. Why not go to the other place? It works sometimes. That's why I say you can't translate every why not to a 说不定. That's the thing about 说不定. And then we have 我们
Us,
us or we, 能
can,
在
they, have,
or at, I feel like sometimes. 别的
and
another. 城市
city,
获得
experience,
获得 actually is gain, acquire or gain. So 你获得了什么? What have you gained? Or 我获得了一些经验. I've acquired a lot of experience. So 获得. And then we have 更 more or greater. Because we know 更高 means taller. 更多 that's more in quantity. 更长久 longer in terms of time. So that's 更 you use 更 to mean greater. And then 深度
more in depth,
yes. 体验
experience,
深度体验 a in-depth experience. Actually, this is what I look for trips right now. I mean, we've seen different places and merely watching and observing is just not enough for me. I want to know what local people's life is like in that place. So 深度体验 is something I look forward to nowadays for different trips. So let's try the conversation then.
Perfect.
哎呦，去上海的机票已经被订完了，我们的旅行计划要泡汤了。
别着急，不如我们去一个稍微小众的城市。
可是上海有很多我想去的热门景点。
每一个城市都有自己的特色，说不定我们能在别的城市获得更深度的体验。
Great! You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Hongli, and George Massette. We would love to hear from you. Send your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about why we're visiting lesser-known places and can they really offer a better travel experience? Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yolin, joined by Georgia Massette. Welcome, Georgia. I have to ask you, major destinations, very popular ones versus lesser-known cities. Which one would you pick?
I have to choose one. I think I would go for lesser-known destinations.
Oh, really?
Right now.
Why?
Yes. Well, I don't know. Since I've been traveling, also I come in Italy from a smaller city near Venice. And so sometimes I feel like tourists need to have the experience of a small city, in this case in Italy, and I'm sure you would agree for China, and to really have the image of the country, how people live their lives, how also prices are lower.
That's very important too.
You get to taste the real food, you can see the day-to-day life of people who actually have, not that people in big city don't have a job, but maybe a more in-depth, since we're looking for it in this travel experience, image of the country. I think right now I would choose small cities. I know I would miss out on the big ones, but if I had to pick one, it would be this one.
The funny thing is, in China especially, the lesser-known cities are not necessarily the smaller cities. We say 小众城市不一定是小城市. So see, 小众城市, the lesser-known cities, 不一定, not necessarily, 是小城市 is a small city. It can be a really big city. It's just, it was not originally very popular when it comes to becoming a tourist destination. Or it might not be famous for being a tourist destination. That's the thing when the country is really big. But I think it's similar for Europe or other places in the world as well.
Well, the example that comes to mind to me is the example of Turkey, how Ankara, the capital city, is not a very tourist one. Istanbul is. And I think I have been to Istanbul and not Ankara, but I think that going there and seeing the less tourist city would be a more in-depth experience to really know the country and how it works.
Yeah, that's the thing, because in China, there are a lot of provincial capital as well. They are not that famous for traveling. For example, my hometown is in Shanxi province, and our capital city, Taiyuan, is not famous for being a travel city because there are just too many tourist sites in other cities in Shanxi province. And in Taiyuan, you just kind of like arrive in Taiyuan and then you go to other places. But I have to say, Taiyuan has a lot to offer as well. You get to go to the museum, you get to enjoy a lot of concerts and different things. And that's the thing about lesser known cities or lesser popular traveling cities. That is, you get to have a relatively customized experience. You can decide where to go and you do not have to worry about being flocked with tourists. You do not have to worry about things being a little bit too pricey because too many people visit these places. So 小众旅游目的地, lesser known tourist destinations is really the places to go. But I have to say, some of the 宝藏小城, the treasure little cities on my list have now become more and more well-known, and they've been doing campaign about their tourist treasure and tourist resources. I mean, it's a great thing for the city, and I'm actually very happy that they're being appreciated, and they're doing a really good job in promoting their city. But for me, it's just a little bit sad that my tiny little hidden away treasure place is now being discovered. Can you understand that kind of feeling?
I completely understand. Sometimes you feel so proud of discovering a new city, not really new, but having this little treasure you recommend to your friends. And then all of a sudden they become very popular. And you're like, no, no.
Yeah.
You get kind of jealous and attached to this little discovery.
It's mine. People should not know about it. It's mine.
But I think also for smaller, I always associate less known tourists with smaller cities, but I know it's not a good thing. But I think that less known, so 小众 cities, also maybe people are more welcoming towards tourists because there aren't many. So sometimes in bigger cities, tourists are seen as something always there, not really appreciated. So I think that in smaller cities, as a tourist, you're more appreciated because you made the effort to actually go there. And I think you get treated really, really well by locals.
Yeah, I know. And well, I think I should stop being so petty about my treasure being discovered, but start to feel happy about these lovely 小众旅游城市 because they do deserve a lot of traffic, a lot of people appreciating their unique beauty. And needless to say, the major cities, the really popular one, 热门旅游地, are popular for a good reason. They have, again, a lot to offer. And hopefully, at the end of the day, no matter if it's a 大众热门旅游景点 or a 小众冷门旅游目的地, as long as you're enjoying it, as long as you put your heart really into it and experience it, you will be able to enjoy it. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Miao Honglin with Georgia Massad from online. Thank you so much, Georgia, for joining the show.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here.
Great to have you here. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese and please leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoy the show. Until next time, 再见.
再见.